What's the best thing that's ever happened to you due to a retailer ducking up? We were in need of a frisbee, so I decided to go to Petco. I don't have a pet, but figured they'd have good frisbees for cheap, and grabbed 3 because they were $1.50 each. I walked up to the cashier and he rang all 3 up. It came to $0. We both just kinda looked at each other, then he shrugged his shoulders and said, "Well, have a good day." Not the most intense of a story, but I've heard of people getting amazing things on Amazon for incredibly cheap. So people of Reddit, have you ever had anything like this happen to you? I once bought a pull-out queen-size bed from Overstock. I realized that they sent me the wrong size mattress after I had assembled the entire frame. I called them up, and they said they could not just send me the right mattress, they had to send me the entire new set. They said they would refund my money, I would then purchase a new set, and when the new set came they would send someone out to pick up the wrong set. I called them to pick up the set, and they never came. After 2 weeks, I called back. They said UPS would come by for the set. They never came again, and they refunded me again. I sat on the money for 6 months just in case. TLDR, Overstock.com paid me $600 to take 2 bed sets, one with the wrong mattress size. Me and the wife were out to dinner at a nicer steakhouse burger joint, and had already bought tickets to a movie for after. We had left enough time for both. While we were sitting there for about an hour, neither of us had realized this as we were both having a really great time. Finally we realized that it is 8:45, the movie starts at 9, so we grabbed one of the waiters to check on how things were going with our meal. Turns out that they had managed to misplace the order. Now I don't know about you dear reader, but things like that are not worth getting shitty about. So the waitress that took our order in the first place comes over to apologize about the delay and the order being misplaced. We were polite about the whole thing, as really mistakes happen. We started to chat with her as we were waiting, and it comes out that we had the movie booked and paid for. Well, she goes out the back and comes out with 2 vouchers for the local cinema, and again apologizes about the delay. Whilst this is going on, the kitchen must have been put into gear, because our meals come out about 10 minutes after we had notified them of the lack of food. At this point, both me and the wife realize that if we scoff this meal quickly we may still make the movie on time, so we managed to down it in record time whilst still displaying appropriate manners for the establishment. We head on up to pay the bill and one of the managers is there. He apologizes about the meal not showing up on time and comps it for half price. We were floored by this, as we were not expecting anything past an apology, but we ended up with movie tickets and a half price meal. In the end we managed to catch the movie with only missing the previews. Last time I went grocery shopping they had a little sign next to the 5-pound tubes of ground beef saying, "Save $9.99, $5 each." So I grabbed 5. At the register, it scanned at $9.99. So I pointed it out to the cashier. Apparently the sign was wrong, and that store's policy is to give 1 free item and honor the mismarked price on the others. So I got $75 of meat for $20. It's a testament to how dull my life is that this made me happy for days. My parents and I had just moved to a new house, and we'd started buying new furniture for it where needed, as you do. They made a mistake in checking us out as we drove off with our appliances, and charged us nothing. $2,000 of fridge and freezer, just like that. Luckily, we're honest people and drove back once we knew, and the guy was so grateful that he wouldn't be losing his job over that we got half off, and no interest while we were paying for it. Sometimes, it's tough to be honest. We ordered a vinyl to USB turntable, and 2 were delivered. It took me half an hour on the telephone with an Amazon representative, who was clearly in India, before I could convince them that 1. They had erred in sending us more than we'd paid for, 2. We had no need for the second turntable, and 3. We wanted to do the right thing here. Apparently, the request was so unusual that they had to get 2 supervisors involved. The original customer service person said we would be sent an RMA label shortly. When he hung up, he said, "And God bless you, ma'am." The RMA label never arrived. I wasn't going to go through another half hour of trying to be honest, so we just kept it. About 3 months later, we gave the extra, never used turntable to a friend. Doesn't perfectly fit into the category, but years ago I was browsing a fancy booze website. I clicked on one of the products for a description and got an ASP error about the file c/inetpub/www.root/data/database.mdb being in use. So of course, being the kinda guy I am, I went to www.website.com/data/database.mdb and managed to download their entire customer orders and products database. Yes, they were using an AccessDB for the site. I fired off an email informing them how to move the file out of the web root, and then added a cheeky, "Is that worth a bottle of absinthe?" at the end. They sent me a 50-pound bottle of absinthe. Not sure what happened the week after it arrived, no memory of events. TLDR, informed a company of an insecurity in their site, and then got probed by aliens. I had something similar like that happen. I was checking out from a website and noticed that if you had a valid checkout URL, it would assume you paid for the products and process your order. After I reported it, they offered to hire me at $80 per hour for a one-time security audit. Got a check in the mail for $320, and a few free products for my time. Not too shabby considering I was an unemployed high school student at the time. Best Buy sent me 2 copies of Modern Warfare 2. With the same PO and receipt. I called customer service and asked them what I should do, and they said return one to a store. Got refunded full price. Free copy of Modern Warfare 2. I remember I went to get a replacement Xbox 360 since mine got RROD, and I had the Best Buy warranty. Well, the price of the 360 had gone down $100. So they gave me a new Xbox that also came with 2 free games and a larger hard drive than my original. The extra $100? They put it on a gift card for me. My dad called me up to tell me he got a couple hundred off of his new car. So I asked him how, and he said. The sales assistant called me up to tell me they found a used car that was the type I wanted, and it was green. So, I thanked her and waited for the salesman to call me for the paperwork. She must not have told him that she called, because he was all excited about letting me know. When he asked me if it was a good match, I told him it was as long as it wasn't green it was perfect. And suddenly I had a lower price. Went to Alvento, awesome fancy restaurant that does this cool breakfast buffet thing on Sunday mornings. $16 for tons of food and bottomless screwdrivers, bloodies, or mimosas. Our waitress ended up spilling 3 whole drinks on one of my friends' lap when she was bringing us our drinks. All 3 of them, bam, on his lap. He was cool and handled it well. The restaurant camped our meals, $70 value for food. We had 4 rounds of drinks, and the chef made an awesome lemon shot especially for us. We probably walked out with $100 worth of drinks and food. I know it's them just trying to make up for a little clumsy mistake, but I was really happy with how far they went to make sure we had a good time. My girlfriend's friend gave us a $10 Target gift card, Secret Santa or something, and it turned out that whoever rang it in, fat fingered the keyboard and marked it at $100. I didn't have a job and she was working for commission at a shitty salon, so it was nice being able to buy shit for my nephew and younger siblings for Christmas. Edit, douchebags, I'm not bragging or trying to impress the internet. The chick paid $10 and we got $100. I don't care if ya don't believe me, but it happened, so save time telling me it couldn't have gone down. A couple of years ago, my mom and I went to an expensive department store so I could buy a dress. I fell in love with one which was between $200 to $300. We go to purchase it, and it starts scanning for $5. The lady tried to make us pay RRP, but the manager said it has to be sold for $5. Had insurance with a high deductible. So, with the birth of second kid, found a hospital that charged a $2,000 flat fee, same as my deductible. Paid them, had the kid, went home. Later got a couple of extra bills from the doctor that ran it over the $2,000. Explained everything to the insurance company, they said to send in everything. Sent the bills, plus the bill from the hospital, which was like $8,000, and explained it all. They sent me a check for the doctor bills plus the hospital bills, less deductible minus at $6,400. Turned a profit of about $4,000 on that kid. I was at Chipotle and decided to shell out some extra dough for guacamole. I had steak on it, but the cashier rang it up as chicken and I saved like 40 cents. Made my ducking month. Not my story but my dad's. He went to Sears to buy a riding lawnmower. They were offering $500 rebates on several models, so my dad picked out one he liked, which even after the rebate was still $1,500. He put it on his Sears card. After several weeks he got the statement back, and the charge had never showed up. So, he called them to make sure that charge didn't exist, then cancelled the credit card. A couple weeks later he got a $500 check in the mail for the rebate. TLDR, Sears paid my dad $500 to take a $2,000 riding lawnmower. Not really a retailer, but I bought a Digimon on eBay when I was a kid, and the guy sent me two. Told him, and he said to just keep it. Shit was cash. I once had an eBay account and tried to buy a Lego Jango Fett figure, because I really wanted one. I won the bid somehow for like $2, and I didn't know what to do, so I just left it alone. I got emails for a while saying the guy was going to send the FBI after me for not paying for his Jango Fett figure. That was scary. I used to be a pretty serious pool player and invested a hefty amount of money into a set of cues. Not wanting to skimp on a case, I found a dealer online who sold exactly the one I wanted for $250. A short while later FedEx showed up with 2 boxes. Turned out the dealer sent me 2 cases by mistake. I emailed him and asked how he'd like to handle the extra case, and the guy wanted me to pay for shipping. I said he should send me some kind of prepaid box because I wasn't going to pay for his mistake. This apparently agitated him, and he used some unfortunate words referencing me in his next email. After a cop friend told me he didn't have a legal leg to stand on, I decided to sell the extra at slightly below retail price and enjoyed my almost free case, never hearing from the dealer again. I bought a $400 gas grill from Lowe's and paid by credit card. The scanner facing the customer didn't seem to work, so the cashier took my card and swiped it at the computer. While this was going down, I was distracted by another employee who was going to help me load it into my truck, so I'm not exactly sure what happened, but thinking back, I don't remember ever signing the signature thingy. A couple months went by, and I noticed it had never showed up on my CC statements. I searched for the receipt, and when I found it, it had the method of payment as cash. Don't ask me how, but I somehow ended up with a free grill. I had signed up for Blockbuster's Netflix SQ video game online rental service while it was on a promotion. I never got around to cancelling it, and actually used it a bit. When my local Blockbuster closed, I realized I still had access to the online system, but the local Blockbuster never gave corporate my payment info. I don't know how it happened, but my entire profile made it to their database except my CC number. I've been enjoying the $8 a month service for months now without being charged a thing. I can explain how it happened. They were being laid off and didn't give a shit.